Hi, my name is Audra Wilson, and I'm the president and CEO of the Shriver Center on Poverty Law. You can visit us at www.povertylaw.org. Hey, cousins. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
I'm Michelle Peltier, and here's what we're following on the family meeting. Last day of Pride Day. You guys be careful out there. Happy Pride. Walter C. Scott Jr., whose buttery vocals alongside his identical twin Wallace were the hallmarks behind the hit-making R&B group The Whispers. He died on Thursday, June 26, after a 6-month battle with cancer. At the time of his death in Northridge, California, the 81-year-old was surrounded by his family. In a cost-cutting move to plug a $734 million shortfall, Chicago Public Schools officials on Friday said they laid off dozens of workers in the district's central office and citywide staff. In all, CPS laid off 161 employees, according to the district officials. The cuts come after interim schools chiefs McKeel King told the Chicago Board of Education at a meeting Thursday that the district faces a budget deficit that's $201 million more than officials previously cited. At CPS, I tell you. A year-round immersive horror experience from NBC Universal will open in Chicago across from the new Bally's Casino, the city announced on Thursday. Universal Horror Unleashed Chicago will be the company's first branded experience in the Midwest. Expected to open in 2027 at 700 West Chicago Avenue, the venue is projected to create 400 permanent jobs while generating more than $1 billion in economic impact for the city. The Chicago project is part of Universal's growing slate of attractions. Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort opened this year. Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas is set to open in August, and a new theme park and kids resort geared towards young children is scheduled to open in Texas in 2026. Please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Fanbase, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Spotify, Blue Sky, and Twitter. Also subscribe and follow our YouTube channel to view us live and receive reminders when we're on the air. We will be right back.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
This is Greg Palast. I can't get enough of the family meeting.
Hi, this is Jennifer Marlowe from Wintrust Wealth Management, and I'm listening to the family meeting.
Welcome to the world. Why is it echoing like that? I did something right. Somebody comes in here and touches buttons and stuff. That's what happens in here. Welcome to the worldwide headquarters of the family meeting. It's your boy E, and who you heard earlier was Michelle.
Yep.
Doing the news.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Grab your phones, find us on social media. Do everything Michelle told you to do.
That's right.
All those things she listed off there. Your list is exhausted. Also visit the webpage, tfmradioshow.com. tfmradioshow.com. In the space shuttle cockpit controlling everything, I think it's Curly Top today.
Curly Top. He got a new haircut. It's really cute.
You've seen him?
Yeah.
It's
when
cute.
you guys were doing your thing last week.
Sound like Curly Top got a new girlfriend. Congratulations, Curly Top.
I'm all their girlfriends.
That's right. The number is 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. I'm still flat. I'm just flat today.
Are you?
Yeah, real flat. Been flat.
Well, maybe we should put Tiffany on the mic.
She won't want to do that. She won't want to do that.
She might.
You want to do that?
Look at her looking at me.
There you go. It's on now. Go ahead. It's on. Okay, well, she doesn't want to do that, so that's how that works.
She's shooting daggers at me with her eyes. I'm gonna turn into a pillar of salt here in a minute.
I've seen that before.
I'm sure you have.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
So listen, Michelle.
Yes.
Because I'm flat, I want to have a rules conversation today. Can we have more rules conversations today?
We can do
Yeah.
whatever you
By the way,
want.
how'd you do last week?
I think we did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun?
Adrian was with me. He brought Dresden with him.
Yeah,
and,
fun.
it was fun. Yeah.
Okay, that's the most important thing.
Nobody yelled at me.
No?
So it was good.
And you saw Curly Top, your
And I saw
boyfriend?
Curly Top. And I saw Devin too.
Yeah.
Curly Top was only there for a little part, but
Yeah.
Devin was there.
Bobby Longstroke. He's off to a porno shoot today, right? That's what he does.
We missed you though last week.
Yeah.
We missed
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Yeah, right.
We did. We talked about you.
Yeah.
The mayor, that we were missing the mayor.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, drunk ass Adrian he sent us pictures of him in a hot air balloon. What could go wrong?
Well, he's not driving it. He's just in
Just a drunk person on a hot air balloon. What could go wrong?
I don't think he took a flask with him.
He polished it off before he got on there. I'll bet you. Yeah. So you could only imagine. I think he said he was in California or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, when he took those pictures. I don't know if he's still there.
They're on a tour, vineyard tour.
Oh my
I know it's
God. It's so domestic.
I love it.
It's so incredibly
much.
domestic. So I want to do a rules conversation today. Can I do that?
Sure.
And I took the liberty to write them down today.
Oh my.
Yeah, because I was thinking that I needed to try to remember them today
Mm.
for the rules today.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hopefully you guys can help me with the rules.
Okay.
Right. So the thing I wrestled with today as I was writing them down is should I read all the questions now and then we double back and deal with them? Because some of them, if I ask the question, we'll be talking about it for 2 hours.
Well, it depends on the kind of conversation that you
Same
want to
as we
have.
always
do you
do.
want to have a condensed? If you want it condensed, just do one at a time.
Well, I mean, so the question
Wanna
is
do-
what is the rule, right? What's the rule here? That's the question. What's the rule?
What's the rule?
Yeah, it's kind of straightforward. What's the rule?
About regarding what?
I'm going to read you. I've got
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions.
Okay.
7 rule questions. You think I should just read them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see them coming and maybe contemplate them for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And you'll repeat them, won't you?
yeah, I mean I'll double back and I'll pick one and we'll go from there
Okay.
because I don't understand the rules as usual. So I'm gonna read them all.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna skip around and when I come back
Okay.
because I want to try to start from easy to difficult.
Sure.
Okay, so maybe you can help me decide what's easy.
We might think something's easy and other people
We're the only
might
people
not.
that matter, though.
I see.
We're the
Okay.
only one that have microphones,
Okay.
so we don't care what they think.
Okay.
Never did we?
Yes.
Well, maybe you, but not me. Okay, so what do you have to do? What is your history? What do you have to do in life for someone to consider you a settler or a pioneer?
Mm.
Okay, that's one. A second is how much wealth is enough?
Hmm.
How much wealth can you have where anything beyond that, like you'll never get around to spending it. It's impossible to, don't try to answer now. Let me get to the questions now. See how you're jumping in?
I know I
right?
can't help it because I'll forget. Okay, I'm writing them down.
I'll repeat them again. So how much wealth is enough, right?
Mhm.
And I got some rules around the rules discussion, right?
Sure.
Don't challenge the intellectual curiosity of people, right? When you ask questions of people, I understand that there are statements being made. Oftentimes your questions are loaded.
Sure.
Not you, but anybody
Mhm.
who asks questions. A question oftentimes is a statement as well. So by me asking that question, how much wealth is enough? It's a statement too. I understand that. But let's stick with the question.
Mhm.
Okay, so we know certain things about history,
Mhm.
right? We know, for instance, that Columbus didn't discover America.
Right.
We know this.
We know that.
Right.
Yes.
So as a society, have we decided that it's okay to continue to tell a false story?
That's your question?
Yeah. Have we decided that it's okay? Even though we know otherwise, we tell our children the non-truth. Is it okay to do that? Okay. Okay, so what's the limit? This might be the easiest one here. What's the limit on the no take back rules? Right. After a certain point, you can't take it back.
What is a thing? Language?
Something you said, something you stole, after a certain point, then it's officially yours, or you don't have to apologize. Right.
Oh, do I get to ask you where these questions came from?
They came from me reading.
So
I'm reading current events.
So something hit you
I can tell you this right now. I was reading current events, and I was listening to the language used to describe current events, and in particular, the adjectives to describe the participants in history. You'll see from the last question I asked. Okay. What's the time limit on never forget?
It's
Like there's certain things that the Jewish community, for instance, says never forget always, right?
right.
But in some instances, when you talk about history, you get the response, "Oh, that was a long time ago. Let's just move on." So at what point? What's the time limit for never forget?
Never.
So you're going to answer questions now?
I'm sorry.
So these last two are difficult ones. Okay. When is it okay to kill children? When is it okay?
That's a rhetorical question, right?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't jive. If you look at the activities of people and the potential answer to that question, it's not congruent. So when is it okay? What needs to happen? What set of circumstances need to occur where it's now okay to kill children? Okay. And this one is probably less difficult, but also equally as difficult. What do you have to do to be recognized as a savage or a terrorist? What activities do you have to engage in to be recognized, to fit in the category of a savage or a terrorist? So these came from me watching the media participate in describing any number of current events,
Sure.
things going on in society. And so I'm watching the media tell the story, as it were, like the media is supposed to do, report on the story, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what struck me was the language adopted in the description. For instance, when Israel decided to bomb Iran, and then Iran responded, their response was considered a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
But Israel bombing Iran was a bunch of different things. It was a preemptive strike. It was a lot of different things. It was anything other than a terrorist attack. And so I don't understand the difference. So I want to know the rules. What are the rules? How do we determine what the difference is, right? So those are my questions. I have some adjuncts too, right? Like, is it okay for a country to put a military base in another country?
Mm-hmm.
Japan decides they want to build a base, a military base in Nevada or something like that. Is that okay? When is it okay to build a military base in someone else's country? And by military base, I mean full armament and
Sure.
the whole nine.
Sure.
When is that okay? That one's not written down. I thought about that one in the shower today. So those are the questions. What say you of those? I wasn't trying to answer them yet, but what do you think?
Well, I can kind of tell what you were absorbing, or I could be making an assumption based on things that I was reading. But good questions. Something for people to think about.
Yeah. So let me wrap some rules around the rules.
Oh, yay.
I never quite understand the definition of gaslighting.
Ah.
I've heard people describe it differently, but let's not, for our discussion today. I'm not going to hang up on you because I don't have a button to do that here. But I'm not interested in having a conversation around the conversation. There are no nuances in my questions.
But there may be nuances in the answers.
There's not even any nuances in the answers. You either let's talk about the killing children thing for a second here.
Well,
if it's happening, there are no nuances in the answer. And if you decide that you want to jump in the conversation today with nuances, you need to first answer the question. So you can't give us the nuance and then answer the question. You have to answer the question. Otherwise, we're not interested. Save it. Call some other show. Don't do it here. All right.
okay.
Because I think if I think these, and there are other questions that I had dreamt up, but these are the ones I decided to bring today. I think the answers to the questions begin to define our reaction to current events.
Say that one more time.
I think the answers to those questions begin to define our response, or I think how we should respond to current events. And to the extent your answer to the question isn't congruent with your activity or this country or other countries' activities, you have to reconcile that.
Because
So you sitting your fat ass up in the house telling everybody that you don't like ice cream,
right.
but you're eating ice cream,
Right.
right? What sense does that make?
People do it every day.
I know, but that doesn't make any sense though, does it?
It never does. But the gymnastics that you and your brain can do to accomplish something that isn't good for you is amazing.
Right. I hate ice cream. I don't like ice cream, but you got your fat ass on the couch eating ice cream.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Right. Yeah.
As I have this big glass of milk and some cheese.
It doesn't make any sense.
But that's what people do.
Right. So, but there's an answer to that question. Why are you eating ice cream if you don't like ice cream?
No, that's not the issue. It's not that they don't like ice cream. They
No,
like ice cream.
You forget the scenario. I told you that they hate ice cream.
They hate ice cream.
I didn't say it makes them sick. I said they hate ice
They
cream.
hate ice cream.
Right.
So why do you eat?
Why are you eating ice cream?
Because everybody else likes ice cream.
No, but you hate ice cream.
I know, but I want to be part of the group that likes ice cream, so I
Okay,
pretend
you're trying
to
to
like
answer
ice
for
cream.
fat ass. You're trying to answer for fat ass. Okay. That's not the point. See, you I think that's gaslighting. Is that gaslighting?
No.
Okay.
When we get to the gaslighting,
Right.
I'll tell you.
Because the question was, the statement was, they don't like ice cream.
Right. But they're eating it anyway.
Right.
Fatting on the couch.
Your fat ass is eating ice cream. But you don't like ice cream, you said.
Right.
See how you can pluck that question out, that scenario out, and put in, it's never okay to kill children. Well, then why are you supporting killing children? See how that works?
Sure.
That's where I'm headed.
Okay.
All right. So listen, all the nuances and all the other stuff that you want to bring into the conversation, not today. Let's not do that today. Okay?
Okay.
Can we not do that today?
All righty.
Let's talk. Let's answer the question so we know the rules. Right. Once we know the rules, then we can talk about the nuances.
Right.
I hope y'all get it. I don't think y'all get it. Michelle don't even get it yet.
I kind of sort of do.
See, then she don't get it.
I-
just kind of sort of gets it. She doesn't get it.
Well,
You don't get it.
there is no wiggle room with killing of children. None.
Well, apparently there is though.
To other people, to the,
Okay, but
to these warring factions.
but we have to know the rules, right? Because if it's okay to kill children, let me know when I can kill children too.
But who's we?
There's the nuance thing. See there? We can't carve out. I'm talking about collectively as a society.
Okay.
That's the deal, y'all. The number 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Kathy Gwen Esther, please do my laundry.com and the Laundry Bag Incorporated. Keep listening to the family meeting.
The law office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you, whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck,
You better call Darnell.
had a few drinks too many, a cop hits you with a DUI or OWI,
You better call Darnell.
arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony,
Think you better call Darnell.
purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm.
Think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home,
Think you better call Darnell.
that's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan, tailored to meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens. Vets enjoy unrivaled benefits that include service provider oversight, knowledgeable expert investment guidance, and delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility to vesting schedules and more, elevate your retirement journey with AVMA's specialized plan. Learn more by sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LendStreet Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Mind Street are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, in Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Seven 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. We're going to go to the phones earlier than normal today because the floor is yours on these questions. And I just thought to myself, I've read them all. Maybe I just let people pick the question that they want to deal with. They'll probably pick the easy one.
That's cool too.
Or you can take a run at all of them. But you know, listen, no sermons or whatever. You got to keep it brief. Okay. Which one, if you had to choose, I don't know if you got them all down.
Write most of them down.
Which one did you want? What's an easy one?
What struck me most and what's bothering me most is how much money, how much wealth is enough, especially after this wedding this weekend, the Bezos wedding, which was
What happened
he rented out Venice for the weekend.
with the hotel in Vegas?
No, the city.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, if you're rolling like that,
Well, no, it's ridiculous. Okay, so he closed the whole city down. So the only people who could shop were the people that were already there. They had signs of him. I mean, they had mannequins of him all over the city. Like one of them he was sitting on a toilet reading a newspaper. I mean, they're mad at him because they literally 200 people, he and whatever her name is, and 200 of their closest friends closed down an entire city for 3
I don't think
days.
that's congruent though, right?
I do, because
as a society, we structured our systems so that he could have the level of wealth to be able to do that. And it's hard. I don't disagree with you necessarily that it's gaudy,
Yeah.
but the society allowed him to have the wealth to be able to do something like that, and that's ridiculous.
Okay, I just think it's too. Look, I don't begrudge anybody their livelihood. I just think that those people that the more we get to know them, the more self-involved and cruel they are. He could have come and done something for the city instead of just closing it down for his own benefit.
Yeah, but it's he gets to do what he wants to. It's his money.
I know, but I guess when you have so much, because your question is how much is too much or how much is enough?
Which is enough. Yeah, too much is not the word I didn't want to use.
How much is enough?
Right.
And who determines what that is?
Right.
It's a personal journey, I guess.
I think we all have to be careful that we're not just being haters, right? And I'm not suggesting you're a hater, but I'm saying that he has the wealth to be able to do something like that. So it's his wealth to do with what he pleases.
Then what's the point of the question?
You should be mad at the people who took the money to shut down the whole damn city.
The government?
Yeah. Why would you let a dude come in here and give you enough money? That means that you have a price where you'll sell out the whole city.
Well, apparently everybody has a price. I guess that's part of my issue. Just because you can, does it mean you should?
I guess. But I'm not mad at him. It actually sounds, if you think about it, if you had it like that, it sounds pretty cool.
It's ridiculous.
Imagine
he could have had the same weekend without shutting down the whole city.
Imagine if we went to Venice, someplace like that, and decided to buy the whole city and bring in Bootsy and George Clinton and Cameo and all of them. Just turn it out. We run in Venice for a week.
Would we close it though?
Hell yeah! All y'all got to go. No. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun though? Wouldn't that be fun?
No,
you're not a funketeer then.
I'm a funketeer, but you can do
the
same kind of thing without displacing a whole city.
If we had it like that, it wouldn't be Venice. It probably would be Detroit. I'd take that. I'd take it out, man. You kidding? I would take it out if I had it like that. But how much is too much? I mean, not too much. How much is enough is the question. There has to be diminishing returns at a certain level on wealth. At a certain point, you can only have so many yachts. I think you said one time his yacht had a yacht.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay,
for his airplanes.
I mean, he got it like that, but okay.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, how many planes can you have? How many homes can you have?
Exactly, it's absurd.
How many pairs of shoes can you have?
When do you become benevolent with it? When do you become? I mean, I guess it's not a requirement, but when you have so much and you're building penises in the sky as opposed to giving people sandwiches, I don't understand it. I don't understand the thinking in it. 3 people. That's Stan. I accidentally cut him off. deleted his name, but he's still there. I'm sorry, I'm talking to them about the phones.
Okay.
Curly top. I mean, of course it's not a requirement, but it's like what you just said. There were 3 people that could save the homelessness in the world.
Well, they'd have to care about that first.
But that's my point. What
You
happened?
You shouldn't be asking about that. You should be asking why they don't care about that.
Well, yes. Why don't they care about it instead of doing all of this outlandish?
It's their money to do what they want to with it.
I agree, but
we let them have it.
When do we become, or when does a person? What's her name? Belinda Gates. Would she give away $16 billion?
Almost everything.
Yeah. So what? There's got to be a middle.
Why?
Because it's better for everybody.
And there's a little bit of that, and I know it sounds like I'm disagreeing with you. I'm not as much as I'm saying that we can't impose our values on other people. That's what I don't want, because I don't like them imposing their values on me. So if my value is, if I had your kind of wealth, I would help people, and it's not your value, it's your choice. But the bigger question is why doesn't our society, our tax system, incentivize him to want to do that?
I think that's a good question.
So I am not blaming rich people on being rich.
No, that's
their
not
choices.
what I'm doing either.
Yeah, so he decided to buy a Bentley. He got it like that. Fine.
He's ridiculous.
That's your values.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do this thing in Venice, you can't come.
You just said you do it in Detroit, and I'm coming.
You can't come.
I think you gave him $50,000 a piece too. So if you give me $50,000, then I can help the people in Detroit.
Okay, so if you're running Detroit and he rolls up on you and says, I want to have my wedding in Detroit, I'm shutting all of Detroit down, and I'll give you personally $1 million. You down?
I would do something for the ravaged communities.
My question was, is he comes to you and says, I want to do my wedding in Detroit. I'm going to give you personally $1 million.
I wouldn't close down the city, but I would take the $1 million. Of
course you would.
But I wouldn't
course you
close.
would.
But I wouldn't close down the city, so he wouldn't give me the deal.
So you wouldn't take the $1 million then?
No, not if I had to close the city. No, I would not.
What if it's $100 million to you personally?
Look, but if you close down,
What if it's $100 million?
It's not, because it's not about me.
It is actually. It is. You personally will get $100 million. And you have the influence
All I have to do is shut down the city, is what
for
you're
him
saying.
to have his little wedding week.
I would disperse the money in other ways.
After you get the $100 million and shut the city down.
If I could give the store owners some money so that they wouldn't.
Michelle,
lose
why are you
anything.
adding to the story, man?
Because I wouldn't feel right just taking the money.
You'd feel real right.
No.
With $100 million, you wouldn't feel right.
Not if
If you had $100 million.
Not if I couldn't do what I wanted with that 100.
If you had to shut the city down for a week for $100 million, and now you have this $100 million to do all your little social service projects,
right?
Part of
it would be not to shut down the city, though.
It's not the deal.
You can shut down some roads and
then
stuff.
Then you don't get the $100 million, and you don't get to help the people of Detroit.
Okay, then I go with the $100 million.
Right, exactly. Just like the people of Venice did.
The people didn't get it. The government got it.
Fine. Whoever got it.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Somebody got it.
I'm talking about the people that needed it the most didn't get it.
But somebody got it, and they shut the city down, didn't they?
They shut the city down for their own benefit, not for the benefit of the people
but they
that
still
live
shut the
there.
city down, and they got the money.
Okay, but they could have done it differently.
That wasn't the deal. I just told you that wasn't the deal.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear me? What?
I hear what you're saying.
So you're struggling. You're struggling.
I am.
You're getting,
because I feel like there's just,
because you're not congruent. As our society is not congruent. We have these values that we assert, and we have all these accepts.
So you're saying you wouldn't take it?
Hell yeah, I'd take it. But you know what I do? I shut the city down. I say, listen, I get all your hotel rooms outside the city, right? I'll make sure it's nice for you. I'll feed you and everything. When you come back, I'm investing in all your businesses. Hell yeah, I'll take the money. Hell yeah.
I would do that.
Right? The lack of congruence makes it difficult for us. I don't want to talk about it. If anybody's calling about something else, you're gonna have to deal with them people, man. Those are your friends, man.
Well, it may lead into the question.
Didn't lead into nothing. Okay, I'm going to read the questions again, and then we'll go to the phone. So you guys should feel free to go ahead and call and weigh in. 773 time it. So after the break, we'll do that because we're coming up against the break here. 773-763-9278. I'm going to read the questions again, okay?
Mhm.
I'm not reading them in the same order, so you
Oh,
wrote them
Lord.
down. You're going to have to
Why?
stumble around here. What do you have to do to be recognized as a terrorist or a savage? That's one. When is it okay to kill children? That's two. What is the time limit on things we should never forget? What is the time limit on things that we should never forget? What is the time limit on the no take back rules? You took my stuff, and after you've had it for so long, I'm no longer entitled to it. Is it okay for false history to be taught in schools? What do you have to do to be considered a pioneer or a settler? And lastly, how much wealth is enough? You got them all?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about that today, right? And I know there's lots of stuff in the news going on now that you're chomping at the bit to talk about. They've talked about that all week. You probably talked about it with Rich when you were on this week, right?
That was last week.
It was not Monday.
No, you're so off kilter.
Well, whenever it was. Y'all know Michelle appears on Chief's Views. How often are you there?
Oh, you're talking about Michelle's moment. That's twice. Yeah. That's,
No, I'm off cue.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about when he allows me the privilege of subbing for him. No, I do have a little, no, we didn't talk about that.
What?
No, we didn't talk. We talked about my issue was talking about, we shouldn't feel insane, even though everything around us seems insane and some other stuff.
What day do you do this? How often do you do this?
Tuesdays, twice a month.
Every other week, every other Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Unless, he's not here or something, or it's twice a month. I'll tell you that.
Y'all fancy.
No, Richard's fancy.
No, fancy weekday host. You know they eat chicken wings, don't you? You know how they eat.
The night before.
Yeah, that's right. Can't get their fingers greasy. You can't have that, can you? Greasy fingers and stuff. You can't do that, man. So yeah, my intention is to get to you guys. But as usual, Michelle and I banter on here and gobble up all the time. My bad.
Maybe we can get Tiffany in for a minute.
She's busy.
She's looking at me mean again.
Yeah.
It's so painful too.
Yeah. So you guys have the questions here. You can just weigh in on the question you want to, or all of them. How about that? Yeah. 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
My name is Menotti Jenkins, www.valorem.law.com. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information, or shoot us an email at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, in Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITFASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
Yo, Yvette, there's a lot of rumors going around. It's so bad, baby, you might have to skip town. See something smelling fishy and they say it's you. All I know is that you're meeting with the whole damn crew. They say you're a man eater during the full moon. Mascot of the senior boys locker room. They said Yvette walked in. There wasn't too much rap. Her reputation got bigger, and so did the gap. Cause girl, your mama should have taught you better. I'ma sit down and write you a long letter. Dear Yvette, dear Yvette, dear Yvette, dear Yvette. I'm glad you ain't my sister then again if you was.
Michelle's worrying me about music today. Hey, Scotty. Yeah. No, that deal. Today is the birthday of Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. Born in Trinidad. I think it was Port-au-Prince, Trinidad. He died when he was in his mid to late 50s. Kwame Ture did. You ever watch any Kwame Ture talks or read any of his documents?
Mm-mm.
So I remember being taught about, he used to differentiate between, it was organizers and, anyway, he talked about the difference between organizing. I thought about him today because I was reading about him, organizers and mobilizers.
Oh.
How we allow ourselves to claim victory in mobilization versus organizing. And his example that I read about was organizers mobilize, but they leave institutions behind in their wake. Mobilizers leave memories in their wake. So he used the example of the March on Washington, the Million Man March. He characterized Dr. King as being a good mobilizer. And then Brother Minister as a good organizer. Because when Brother Minister came to town, he mobilized people and he left them with a mosque, an institution that dealt with the systems. Organizers are interested in dealing with the system that causes issues. Mobilizers are interested in dealing with the issues.
That's interesting to me.
Look him up, Kwame Ture.
Spell his last name. I know it's Kwame.
Ture.
Oh.
Kwame Ture. He was a part of SNCC, one of the organizers, one of the principal organizers of SNCC.
Okay.
He was Stokely Carmichael back then. Of course, he ran track at Howard.
Of course.
Of course. We do that with each other. We just share birthdays with fellow alum. Anyway, so we got anybody on the line?
Stan from Champaign.
Stan from Champagne's on the line. Hey, Stan. Uh-oh, where's Curly Top? Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, got you now.
Yes. Okay, you got me now. I said you got some very interesting questions there, and I'll answer one of those questions, and then I'd like to make another comment.
Okay.
The answer to the question as to when you can kill a child is when that 14 or 15-year-old child comes at you with a gun or a knife, wanting to kill you. Then you can kill that child. Otherwise, never is the correct answer. Now, what I wanted to talk about, if you don't, are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay. What I wanted to talk about is this big, beautiful bill that the Republicans have decided that they're going to work on. And they want to make cuts to Medicaid. And there's going to be cuts to Medicaid that are going to close small county hospitals or small hospitals or hospitals in small rural areas of the country. And they don't even mention the reality that these Medicaid cuts are also going to close all the nursing homes in the country. Nursing homes, about 80% of their clientele that stay open receives their payments through Medicaid. And the Republicans are, I see nothing in the bill to protect those Medicaid payments for people in nursing homes.
Yeah, that's what the country voted for.
No, the country didn't vote for that. They wouldn't vote for that. This is a little add-on to what they were doing, or an extremist position that they wanted to do, that many of us on the left side of the dial told people about, and they didn't believe us because of the propaganda media. I'm going into another topic now, but anyway, that's what I believe. And in my defense for anything I've said here, I used to have a radio program on WCP or WEFT in Champaign, which is a volunteer type of gig. And I had a 2-hour program once a week that talked about national politics. And the reason I quit that show after 10 years was because it was costing me about $350 a month to have that show, because I have a disabled son that needs 24/7 care, and I always had to hire somebody to do the care. So by the time I paid that, I paid the transportation costs and blah, 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 it was costing me about $350 a month to do a volunteer program.
Yeah, math ain't math in there, is it? And I don't know if I hear what you're saying about the country not voting for this, but not only did they say it, they wrote it. And I heard them say it on more than one occasion that they wanted to cut Medicaid. And yeah, and they voted anyway.
They didn't say they wanted to cut Medicaid for hospitals. They said they wanted to cut Medicaid for ineligible people. And now it looks like that there's going to be most of the small hospitals in rural America are going to be closed because the people are not going to make that threshold. And I see no exception for the work requirement that says people in nursing homes don't have to prove that they're looking for a job. There's no exception for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, Stan, weren't you kind of, I'm not surprised by any of this.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, their whole goal has been, remember George W. was going to do this until when the people mattered and started screaming at him and saying, no, you can't take our Medicaid away. Then he shut up like 2 days later. Now, so it's always been on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been told more than once. And you know, the people who are going to suffer the most is going to be their voters.
Yeah.
They're the poorest people in the poorest states, and they're the least educated. They're the ones who are going to suffer. And I have a difficult time feeling bad for them.
Least educated is really a high key point because it's the least educated people that always vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may think somebody's a relatively intelligent person that is a friend of yours, but their education level probably is not as high as, frequently is not as high. I'll take the probably out, put frequently in there. It's not as high as a high school diploma. They may have a GED, but they still do not have a high school diploma. So their education, their formal education, is not as high as the people that vote Democratic.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though, Stan. So they may not have known because of a lack of education or information. They may not have known that this was coming. But what they did know was that who they voted for was going to put up on people who are vulnerable.
Yep.
They were going to go out and they were going to be cruel to people of color and children and immigrants. They knew that and they voted for that. So if they suffer the consequences of losing their Medicaid, I say to hell with them. They deserve it.
Yeah, and my friend had a master's degree, has a master's degree, so she was very well educated. She is very well educated, and
cruelty was the point for these people, and so now they're experiencing cruel behavior. So what? Good luck.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
They didn't think they were doing that to their neighbors.
That's
it's like all of these people.
Yeah, maybe not their neighbors, Stan,
these-
but maybe not their neighbors, but they knew it was going to be done to somebody.
That's the problem, right? Just not caring about just
And the propaganda media told everybody it was going to be done to the worst of the worst and the criminals and blah, blah, blah. And there's not that many criminals in the system.
Yeah,
there
but they
are
voted
people
for
that
that.
are trying to work every day.
They voted for that, though. They voted for people to be harmed.
Yeah, they use the terminology to make those people feel better about their decision when knowing that there's no way that there are that many criminals that are not here legally.
No.
They make it a concerted effort to stay out of trouble because they don't want to get deported. So I'm not saying there aren't some, but it's not millions.
Yeah, it's the stuff that they did know where I got a problem with them. The stuff that they did know about, the stuff that they cheered for.
Right.
This is what they deserve as a result of that. So I say good luck to them.
Yeah.
I don't even wish them luck.
There's no pity over here.
I believe the propaganda media, otherwise called the right wing media, was able to convince people that black was white and white was black and yada yada yada, and they were only going to get the bad guys, and it was all going to be.
You're being generous.
Fun and good for the country.
You're being generous. Theirs was evil intention.
All the way.
Yeah, it was. The point was to be cruel to certain segments of the population, and they voted for that.
Yep.
So now that they have cruelty coming their way,
So you think that everybody that voted for Trump wanted to be cruel to the country, to the people in the country?
I think that everybody who voted for Trump knew that the plan was to be cruel to other people, and they voted for him anyway.
They didn't care because they didn't think it was going to affect them. There was really
they didn't care because of the propaganda media telling them it wasn't going to affect them.
No, really.
Well, you're right, though. You're right. They thought it wasn't going to affect them. They thought it was going to affect somebody else, and they were okay with that, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
But
But
if
they
you
were okay
looked at
with
it,
that.
if you looked at it on the surface, Stan, there was really only one choice, right? There was just because the other side was all bad. He was already a felon, adjudicated rapist. I mean, all of that. It was already all bad. There weren't two choices. There really was, for me, just one, because there was nothing good over there. Nothing.
Me too. That's why I vote blue no matter who, because they've got to be better than the swine that the Republican Party puts up as candidates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stan, we appreciate it, man. We got a break coming up. Thank you, man. Be
Thank
safe
you,
down there.
Stan.
Thank you.
Stan the man. That's Stan the man, yo.
Stan the man.
Stan the man. Stan the man. That's right. Yeah. The point was cruelty, right?
Yes. It was cruelty, and I don't care about other people.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't
As
happen
long
to
as
me,
it
I'm
happen to
good.
me, I'm okay. Yep.
See how we gotten off track here with the questions? He said that it's never okay to kill children.
Yes.
But the country kills children.
Yes.
Okay. We're running out of time. We won't get to all this. I should have just brought one question. Maybe I'll bring it up again next week if I can remember.
Sure. You get to do whatever you want to.
Show. So yeah, give us a call, y'all. Let me know your answers to the questions. Those of you on YouTube, Michelle's friends, you can answer too.
Hi, y'all.
773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save, and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
Welcome back. This is Michelle Peltier, and here's more of what we're following on the Family Meeting. J.B. Pritzker ended months of speculation late Wednesday, officially announcing he will run for a third term as Illinois governor next year. Yay! Pritzker kicked off his campaign Thursday morning in the field house at Grand Crossing Park on Chicago's South Side before beginning a 2-day statewide tour that will take him to Rockford, Peoria, Springfield, and Belleville before ending Friday afternoon in West Frankfort. DT's efforts to assert more control over higher education hit new heights on Friday after the president of the University of Virginia submitted his resignation amid a Justice Department probe of the school. James E. Ryan, who has led the prestigious flagship since 2018, had a contract extending through 2028. But in a message to the university community Friday afternoon, he acknowledged that intense pressure from the federal government, including the threat of major funding freezes, influenced his decision to step down. The Department of Justice had been investigating the university, which is located in Charlottesville, Virginia, over its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. It's bad, y'all. But Nike is taking action to combat the company's estimated $1 billion hit from DT's tariffs, including a surgical price increase in the U.S. set to begin this fall. The news comes after the company announced a series of price increases starting June 1st, including a $5 to $10 hike in select footwear and $2 to $10 increase among adult apparel and equipment. Other retailers, including Walmart and Adidas, have also warned of higher prices due to tariffs. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell on June 18th said he expects a meaningful amount of inflation to arrive in the coming month as more companies pass along increased costs to their consumers. Because what? Why? Of course. Please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can subscribe and follow us on Fanbase, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Spoutable, Blue Sky, and Twitter. Also, subscribe and follow our YouTube channel. Hi. To view us live and receive reminders when we're on the air. We'll be right back.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Get past the people, get past the
So why do I have the feeling that people are avoiding our questions today?
Well, we'll see. We just had one.
You know, these are tough questions in some ways, aren't they?
Yes, they're very tough.
Yeah. And you're itching to talk about other things. Except these. Maybe I'll take a shot at answering them down the road here a little bit.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I want to nuance it too
That'll
much.
inspire people to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I think y'all know the answer to the questions. My answers to the questions, I think y'all know.
Yes, we do.
773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. The floor is yours. Who's next, Michelle?
Paul. Hi, Paul.
It's Paul. He's washing dishes.
How you doing? I'm on the phone.
Who is that?
Oh.
The Medicaid.
Who is that? Who are you talking to, man?
I hardly hear you guys.
Who are you talking to, Paul?
He doesn't want to answer.
I'm talking to my friend who just walked in.
Your friend.
Fred.
Oh, your friend.
My friend.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
My
la
city
la.
friend.
I got a girlfriend. That's right. Tell her you on the phone, man. Man.
No, he can put
Tell her,
us
shut
on.
up, shut up, woman.
No, he can put us on hold and come back, and we'll take another call.
What's up, man?
No, I'm here. The Medicaid, you know what they're doing here.
Wait a minute, Paul.
you
You,
look-
know better than this, man. You heard my questions.
What?
Let's deal with the questions, man.
Okay, which one you want to deal with first?
You pick it. Okay, here. I'm interested in your opinion on this. What do you have to do to be recognized as a terrorist or a savage?
For terrorist or a savage?
Yep.
You don't have to do anything. You just have to be designated that by some political power.
Unacceptable.
Terrorism is just a word. Terrorism is just a word that identifies you as the enemy, and that you're an enemy that is not entitled to due process. You're a terrorist. Therefore, we don't have to respect anything about you. I mean, you could. This is what this all comes down to. Did you hear what Samuel Alito said this week? He said, "I am a monarch of my realm. I can do anything I want." And that's what they're doing. That's what the federal government is now, by narrow majority. We have I won't even call him a president. We have an executive who did not win. He won by a plurality, not a majority. We have a Congress that has a razor-thin majority, and a Supreme Court that are just politicians. Like they're nine. Well, I'll call six of them are just politicians in robes. And you look at. I mean, I wanted to address the Medicaid thing because look what they did in South Carolina. You see, like they want to say we're going to defund Planned Parenthood. And what you're saying about people who don't know what they voted for because they don't know anything about their government. They want to get the people who don't deserve it out of here. This is basically the people who don't deserve it, except me. I deserve it. I deserve it. And I deserve more. Just the illegals are getting it, and everybody who doesn't deserve it is getting it. The thing is that there aren't any people who are getting these things that don't deserve it. So what do? They want to cut Planned Parenthood, but the problem is Planned Parenthood is an approved Medicaid provider, just like about 4,000 other hospitals in this country. About 4,000 other hospitals are, so you can't just think, they're not a line item. Planned Parenthood is not a line item. You can't just defund Planned Parenthood. But what they can do is the court, Samuel Alito, can say, well, it's because Medicaid is at 80-20, 80% federal government, 20% by the state, they can tell South Carolina, you don't have to pay Planned Parenthood. They're approved. They're still approved. You just don't have to pay them. So they can't afford to be in business because when they get reimbursed, they get reimbursed 80% from the federal government, 20% from the state. And at that level, they get barely. They're a nonprofit. They barely get enough to operate on. So you just tell the state, you don't have to pay them. And then they basically go out of business because they can't exist on a 20% deficit in any given state. And this is what they do. This is a whole power structure for this crappy country. And it is a crappy country because we are still operating under the same premises. And I texted this to Michelle last week. You ask anybody, what was the worst Supreme Court decision ever? And most conservatives will say, oh, Dred Scott. Really? What was wrong with it? If you ask them, what was wrong with it? Well, the abhorrent nature of it was wrong. But constitutionally, it was right. Because the problem isn't that it was a bad decision. The problem is the damn Constitution was written to prefer certain people, white, rich people. Dred Scott Roger Taney was a slaveholder, and he was a racist. He wrote 24 pages of really abhorrent dicta in that decision. But it was the holding was correct. The Constitution sucks. And these people who are originalists, they want to be originalists because they want to go back to that. They want to go pre-Civil War. They want to ignore the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments and say, oh, it don't apply. That's what the problem is. And that's what this MAGA movement is.
So did you hear what I said earlier? Did you hear what I said earlier, Paul, about Kwame Ture's words? I'm paraphrasing his story, but the difference between organizers and mobilizers. Did you hear what I said about that?
I understand the difference, but no, I didn't. I missed that. I was working in the kitchen. But what is the main difference?
Washington, he's doing the dishes. Right.
No, he's getting ready for his
company, Kissy Face. Right.
I'm cooking.
Okay, so as I was listening to you talk, right, about the issue around Medicaid, and I'm not criticizing what you said at all, but what we're allowing ourselves to do now is to get caught up in the issues, right? So Medicaid is an issue. And so that's, we mobilize around the issue. We get upset, we march, we mobilize. We need to be organizing. You need to be organizing around creating a substitute when these Klansmen snatch Medicaid out from under these people. Organizing makes us organize institutions and systems that deal with the problem. Mobilizing is getting upset.
Okay,
the No Kings March.
Let me respond to what. Yeah, I understand that. I get what you're saying, but let me rephrase that because of the words you use. You always talk about permanent interest. So I still think Medicaid is an interest. The issue, and this is what I talk about in mediation, when two parties are at odds, you say, okay, what you're arguing about are not your interests. You're arguing over the subjective. The subjective things that people argue about are the issues. They got issues with, you did that. You did. Mom already gave you a whole bunch of stuff before she died, blah, blah, blah. So that's issues. And what you do is you first get through those, and then you get with the parties and say, okay, what are your interests here? What do you need from this? So because people don't argue about the objective, they argue about the subjective. So when you talk about Medicaid is an interest, but the issue is the political tactics surrounding it. So what you're saying is, and I agree, we have to be ready for a way to just sort of relieve ourselves from these tactics, and that's a big challenge, isn't it?
That's what organizing does, right?
That's what's called. Yeah, that's what organizing is. Yeah, and I thought about is that we have to start thinking about at the state level, because my friend Liz, she's got her son is on Medicaid, he's got serious health issues, and he's 45, he's got type 1 diabetes, he's got all kinds of things going on. If he doesn't get any help, I mean, it's like either it's going to fall on her. A number of times he has to go to the hospital. There's no way he could afford that. But what do you do? Just say, okay, let him die? And a lot of people would say, yeah.
Too many.
And
Too many would say that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just because, well, he's not. and other people say, like they say, like, don't deserve it. I've had people say to me, you don't look blind. You don't act blind. I'm like, well, first of all, no, how it looks comes through my eyes. The blindness is what's looking through my eyes, and how I act. What am I supposed to be doing to be okay with you? Am I supposed to be doing the Stevie Wonder head thing, or the Ray Charles rocking, and then are you good with that? Then I'm blind enough for you, huh? Okay. You don't deserve anything. You're not really you're not blind enough. That's like people saying you're not black enough. It's like
you're fake blind. You're fake blind, walking around seeing things and stuff.
Well, that's why I say membership has its values. It's like it really has its benefits. Yeah, well, yeah, it's great. There's a lot of benefits to being blind. It really is. I mean, the sympathy alone is worth twice the price. It's just.
Oh, how about the
sympathy
stick?
alone?
How about the stick too? You get the stick, right?
Oh yeah, the stick. Oh yeah, the stick. The stick. I always think is that, and I was out the other day. I had to come back from the doctor's office on 2 buses, and I'm like, and I got lost, and I was like, I walked. I'm like, where the? I crossed the street the wrong place, and I'm like, I just said out loud, where the hell am I? And some guy was sitting in the truck said, well, where do you want to be? I thought that was pretty funny. I had to start laughing, but yeah, I was like, after how many thousands of years of blind people, that's what we got, a stick. Actually, they have some AI glasses now that might be as useful as God. I'm going to get some. They're about $500, but a dog is a lot of responsibility, a lot of work, and sometimes dogs don't solve all the problem, but we'll see. But people just think no, they don't care. As a matter of fact, when they defunded the audio library for the blind, they defunded that. And I got into somebody on Facebook about that. And the guy, first of all, they got all angry with me for even reporting this. And one guy said, so how do you know this? Where's your reference? I said, well, the news travels fast in the blind community, and I'm part of that community. But there are lots of cuts that the news media has not covered. So the fact that they haven't covered this one doesn't surprise me.
Sure.
But then he said to me, I'm sorry you're blind, but we have to make cuts. It's like, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to screw you, right? So it didn't really matter to him. He just didn't like feeling like he's as big a creep as he really is.
Right.
That's like he looked in the mirror and went, oh, I'm a creep. So I'll get mad at you for holding up the mirror. But then he goes, well, at the end of the day, he's still saying, no, we got to cut it anyway because, I'm a creep. But that's basically what he admitted. I'm a creep. It just makes me mad to have to admit that.
Right. Yep. Paul, we appreciate it, man. Go back to Kissy Face, okay?
Take care, man.
Okay.
Who is she? I wonder. I'm excited.
Talking about that. What do you call it? Kitchen table progressive? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your kitchen table, all right, my man. Don't forget now, he got a stick though. Keep playing. You feel the wrath of that stick. Who's next?
I want to know about the glasses though. Furlan.
My man. Come on, man. Let's stay focused today, man. Can you stay focused for me?
I always try to stay focused. You took me off the subject matter, your own subject matter every time I get off the phone. Every time I get on the phone. But I'm glad you took
let me
me
tell you
out
the
the
rules
phone.
then. Let me tell you the rules then. If you say something,
I know the rules. I heard you. I've been listening to you from
No,
the
no,
beginning
no,
of the
no.
show. I want to answer your question.
I got one more rule for you though. If you say something that isn't
okay.
right, then now you need to stop and explain it. Okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad you took me after Pompous Paul that didn't know how to stick to the subject. I'm going to show him how to stick to the subject. Carl been talking crazy to me for years. He's talking crazy about me for years. Anyway, your first question, it's never enough. A government should never tell any United States citizen how much money they can make. That's the definition of capitalism. And for you to pose that other question, when is it right to kill kids or whatever? That's a hypocritical question because you guys believe in abortion. So I guess it's always right to kill
Back
kids.
up a second. Back up a second, man.
I-
Wait, hold on a second. You data dumping on us. Back up a second. There's no filibustering here. All right. First off, you didn't hear the question correct. The question was, how much wealth is enough? It had nothing to do with telling people how much money they could earn or have. How much wealth is enough?
No, but I heard your conversation. And you said that both of you all were talking about you can never spend it.
How much wealth is enough is the question.
It's never enough. It's never enough. I said that first. It's never enough.
You don't understand the question.
But
You don't understand the question. Let's move on then, because you don't understand the question. What's your next comment?
Well, I gave you the answer to two of your questions. The other one talking about killing kids, and I said I guess your side believes it's okay because you believe in abortion. So that's the answer to two questions.
Okay, but you're okay with killing children in Palestine too, then?
I'm on record for years on radio saying I'm against that. Okay, I'm not for what Israel's doing. After the first 2 months, I understand their response. After the first 2 months, I said no. I said no, it's wrong. What they've been doing is wrong. And I've talked about
history. It's funny because we just heard this on the radio on the way down here today too. Do you know the history of the anti-abortion movement?
I couldn't tell you how it started.
Okay, good. It's okay. I'm glad you said that. I don't know. So that's good. That's where intellectual curiosity starts, right? So it's not really a thing. It's not really a thing. You should read up on it and read about when it happened, when it became a thing. Because it's not really a thing. It's a political movement to get you anxious. Like most of the stuff that you probably watch on television, it's meant to elicit a response to you. By using the word terrorist, it elicits a response to you. You should read about the history. And in fact, I would encourage you to tune into PBS. There's a show called Throughline. My wife and I listened to it on the way down here today. And they talked about the history of the anti-abortion movement. And you can tell me next week if you'd like, if the history that you learn about is in line with your beliefs. Okay? Can we agree to that?
Okay, but I got a question. We can agree to that, but let me
answer my question first. Can we agree to that?
I said I must have been talking too fast. Yeah, I said we can agree to that. Okay, but I want to ask you a question. This is a question between me and you because I've been pissed off about it for about a month. Did you look up my name in the Illinois Department of Healthcare? If you and see my credentials, that's what I had told you to do. Did you look up and see my name? Because Pompous Paul don't believe I work in healthcare. I don't work in nursing. So did you see my name there?
I didn't. I wasn't even interested to look, man.
Okay, well, if you don't believe me, my name is right there, and my credentials are right there. I've been working in nursing since 1992, and my hat's off to Paul's mother for doing what she did, but the rules have totally changed. I know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to people that shouldn't be getting a benefit. It's being funded from our tax dollars are being funded from the federal government through Medicaid. And it's being care has to be paid for. So and they pay for illegals when they go into hospitals and when they're admitted into nursing homes. He used that word intake. Yeah, intake.
How much?
But they still ask for your credentials and pay for.
What percentage of Medicaid expenses going towards that?
Oh, in Illinois, they just put out the number in Illinois with $2 billion, and from last year to this
one second. We got to stay on track here. My question was, what percentage is going to what you characterize as illegals?
What $2 billion in Illinois went to illegals.
Okay. Question again
That's
is.
the number.
Question again is. Question
Okay, you
again is.
talking about
What
percentages?
percentage?
I can't tell you. I
Okay, well,
can't tell you
let's
what
talk about
percentage. I
that then,
know
because if I tell you that it's 5% of all the expenditures, are
I'm
we
giving
still
you the
upset
whole
about
number.
that?
I'm giving you the whole number.
Okay, but I'm
giving
asking
you
for
the
a
whole number.
percentage.
100. Okay, you want to know a percentage? $100 billion. I ain't got a percentage. $100 billion has went to illegals in 1 year. In 1 year.
What percentage
So
is that?
I don't know the percentage.
What percentage is that?
I don't know what percentage that is.
Okay, why don't you get that?
know.
Why don't you get that? And let's talk about proportionality. Okay, get that for me, and we'll talk about that. Because if it's $100 million and we're spending $1 trillion, then it doesn't mean anything.
No, I said 100 billion. 100 billion.
I heard you. I'm saying what percentage.
Okay.
It makes a difference.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, you get
Okay,
that. And we'll
well, I don't
talk
know.
about it again. You get that. We'll talk about it again. All right.
All right.
Right. Okay, my man. Take care.
All right. Take it easy. Take it easy. All right. Bye bye, Michelle.
It ain't even good enough to hurt my kidney bone.
That's my job.
And you got one job. See how we've avoided answering questions today? See how we did this? I knew it was going to happen. I'll post it on our social media. You can try it there if you'd like.
I think you should.
We got more? 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hi, I'm Miss G. I'm Karma's mother. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Hi, this is Michelle from the Family Meeting, and let me tell you about the Villager Gift Boutique located at 2007 Ridge Road in downtown Homewood, Illinois. The Villager is your gift shop for unique, hand-selected, high-quality gifts. The Villager's owner, Valerie, travels internationally to trade shows and fine art festivals to bring a variety of unique, high-quality items, including fine gifts, bath and body products, candles, jewelry, clothing, home accents, leather goods, stationery, gourmet goodies, and so much more. The customer experience is very inviting and ideal for helping you find the perfect gift, especially for those shoppers who are looking for that unique gift for those who are hard to shop for. Oh, and the gift wrapping is complimentary. Shop in person in Homewood, Illinois, or online at thevillagergiftshop.com. That's thevillagergiftshop.com.
Hey, this is Brittany Perry. Did you know there's a Black-owned footwear brand based here in Chicago? Perry Co. Shoes creates affordable luxury footwear and accessories for both men and women. Whether you're in a suit or out with friends, they provide pieces you can wear on a daily basis. Breaking barriers, inspiring style. Visit www.perrycoshoes.com to purchase a pair today. That's www.perrycoshoes.com.
supposed to be about, baby. Girl, free up your pop and stop acting crazy. Reminisce on all the good times daily. Why you trying to pull that copy acting shady? What's that supposed to be about, baby? Girl, free up your pop and stop acting crazy. Shonda Paula, give it a good loving daily. Now you trying to pull that copy acting shady.
You say you love me, but you're never there for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll be crying, slowly dying when I decide to leave. All we do is make.
See, I'm digging deep in my crate because at the reunion I didn't get a chance. These people puckered out, man, after about 3 songs. Man.
No, they danced.
They wasn't ready to get down. I didn't get a chance to drop this one on me.
No, I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, so you're the boss of the phones, man. I'm gonna sit back, be flat.
Okay, let's go with Auntie Sherry. She's been on hold for a while, and she agrees with you.
Auntie Sherry ain't got nothing better to do. Just hang around with us. Huh?
Hi, Auntie Sherry.
Don't even try that. I listen to you guys every Sunday. What do you mean nothing better to do?
Yeah, you better find something to do.
No. I listen and I learn, okay? And but today I just got to give you your props, Baby Boy. And Baby Boy is, it's really it's a, how can I put it? It's a loving term to refer to a young male who is not related to me. Do you is that cool?
She's explaining Baby Boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
To make sure you weren't
your Baby Boy may be different from my Baby Boy because I could probably be your grandmother. Anyway, I agree with you 150%. Most Americans, this is what they voted for. It wasn't based on the economy or jobs. It was based on hatred of those who don't look like you, and you are in the minority. And I'm sorry, it is straight up. It has nothing to do with logic. It has nothing to do with the fact that, it's just, oh God, I'm sorry. I'm just so upset. When you
take a breath. Take a breath
when you
now.
counter
Relax.
them.
Take a breath.
I'm sorry.
Relax. Take a breath.
Okay.
Relax.
When you counter with facts in terms of what the Democrats have done for the entire populace and what the Republicans haven't done for a certain part of the populace, which is those rich folks that's going to keep them in office. It's like, how can you even how can you think that it's not based on logic? It's not logic. It's not logic. It's truly emotional. And I remember I saw an interview with James Carville, and he said, listen, this is what they voted for. Let them have it. And a lot of people kind of like, oh my God, they got slow. No, he was absolutely right. This is what you guys voted for, and this is what you're going to get. Do you think that they thought that it was based on, okay, since I'm a certain demographic that's in the minority, I'm hoping that Trump will, all of his policies that he will, bring forth would be, in my favor? No, they don't care. They don't care about the average. They don't listen. They don't care about the average white person. What do you think they care about the average non-white person? Nothing. Nothing. And you know, I love all of the hosts on your radio show, but one time this person said, "Is this the America that we live in?" I'm thinking, this is the America that we've always been living in. Is this who we are? Yes, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and when it becomes to me versus them, yes, it will always, always, always be, unfortunately, partly racial, partly hate, and partly, oh my gosh, how dare you tip the scales? You know, and it's just, you know what, sweetheart, but it's funny. I used to watch the news with my mom, and she would just kind of get all upset about all them folks coming over here, you know, from over yonder, taking our jobs and, you know, getting all of the benefits. And I said, Mom, you know, you really can't think that way. But she could, considering the fact that, you know, she was born in 1916 in southern Louisiana. You know, she saw it all. She saw it all, and then some. And I had to catch myself. I'm thinking, Sherry, you're thinking just like your mother.
It happens.
But I think she was trying to tell me that, you know, it's not necessarily your class or whatever. It's your skin color and what you've got going on that pulls you up by your bootstrings to be almost on the equal level of us. And that was something that folks up there on that higher upper level will never, ever, ever, ever let happen.
Sherry, we appreciate
They won't let you come close.
We appreciate it, Sherry. Don't be a stranger, okay?
Thank you, Auntie Sherry.
I won't. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Who's next?
Doogie.
Doogie, that's my little girl. I call her Doogie.
Is that right?
What's happening?
He said, "What's happening? What's happening, brother? What's happening?"
Hey, yeah. So I'm the one that sent you that video of the lifeguard shooting in the DM. Yes. That's me. Hello, how are you?
Oh, that. Thank you for that.
All right. I appreciate it. I'm mad as hell. I want to, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's a different topic. I want to stay on topic today. One of your finally caught the show at the beginning. I'm happy for that. I set my alarm so I could remember to listen to y'all.
Thank you.
You know, time flies. It seems like 1 minute and 45 seconds now. It's crazy. I swear, time is moving faster.
Yeah.
How much money is enough? You said you can't understand how rich people just can never get enough. And I had that same question. There used to be a show on CPT called Norman and Goldman.
I love Norman Goldman. Yeah.
His name is Norman.
I've missed Norman so much.
That's the way he did it.
He did, but his name's Norman.
Okay, but he says Norman Goldman. That's what he said. Okay, we're
Norman. Yep.
That's what he asked us to do. Go ahead.
Sorry.
So, I asked him. I said, how much money do these people need? What is the answer? I mean, if we all go broke and we can't even buy stuff, and then their profit margins are dead, it makes no sense. He's like, I know, I don't understand it. Well, since then, it was like 2019. So since then, I've been involved with a lot of rich people in my circle. Unfortunately, I'm still broke. But corporate investors, CEOs of companies, everything like this, plus as being a former music manager with rap artists in the music industry. So I have learned that I got the answer on why these people always seem to need more money, more money, more money. And so what an investor does, if they invest in something and say they lose $2 billion in this investment, and what they do is they're like, man, I just lost all this money. They go on an island for about 3 months, literally 3 months. make themselves feel so much better. Okay, I feel good. Let's go home and let's see what else we can get into. We'll see what else we can invest in. And they just continue. They really don't care. They don't care. They don't have. It doesn't mean anything. And that's why they don't really care about if they destroy the Earth or anything like that. They want to go and live on Mars. Once the Earth is destroyed, they can move. Why would you destroy a habitat that's already habitat to try and create a habitat in some other place that doesn't have a habitat? Okay, so I finally figured it out. What it is that money is equivalent to a cocaine addiction. You can never get enough. And I have learned this by being around these people. That's all it is.
That's a good
analogy. They can never get enough. It's like it equates to a cocaine addiction. And I finally understand it.
Yeah,
So it's an
that's a
addiction.
good analogy. Doogie, don't be a stranger, man. We appreciate
that's the
you,
only
man.
thing that would make sense,
Yeah,
right?
thanks,
That's-
man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it.
I agree with that. It is. I think it's a penis measuring contest. To be honest with you.
That's why they build the phallic symbols to put in the sky.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Who's next?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, my man. What's up? How's
I'm
Florida?
sorry. Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for taking my call. The lady that spoke, she's right on target. She stole a lot of my thunder. I mean, to this
Okay,
day,
well, bye
there's
then.
still
Bye. We'll
knuckleheads.
talk to you later.
Auntie Sherry.
No. But let me expand on that. There's still knuckleheads that support this knucklehead, in the White House. And I'm sorry to say, but they're Mexican American, Cuban American, and you know what this is to me? Is this white supremacy stuff. Is that if you're near this white supremacy, they think that they're forgiven, that they're going to be okay. They're going to be fine as long as they got a white skin. And it's all about color of skin, money. This thing with Bezos, his wedding and everything, we pay for that because they don't pay any taxes. I mean, what is Trump doing with this beautiful bill? Well, what's the main purpose of it? So they don't pay taxes. So it's all about that. I mean, but it's the same thing all over again. This guy never has a new idea. Now, I'm sorry to say, but Berlan, he's always looking down. You should look up. They're the ones that are taking our money. Subsidies. Why did the richest man in the world get together with this knucklehead? Because he knew how to play him. He knew that he would fall for the okie doke, what you say. And that's exactly right. Now, when it comes to Kamala Harris, there was also a matter of not only race, but misogyny. So that couple, this country is taking a step backwards, been taking a step backwards, because originally this guy should have never ran for, had a right to run for president. But his record, what he did, his lack of accomplishments. And let's just take it further back. This goes back to Nixon, as far as I'm concerned, because there was a test for this country to tell everybody in this land, the USA, there's no difference between the well-connected politicians, the rich people. What did Nixon do? He sold books after that, and everything was forgiven. So it was a slippery slope, like they always say, and look where we're at. It started, well, maybe it started before that, but to me, in my time, it started with Nixon. The corruption kept on increasing. Notice Nixon, Reagan, Bush Jr. twice. And look where we're at. We're back to where we started from with Bush. We're going back to war. We're back to that area where there's nothing but oil. We're back to using the excuse of weapons. Same thing. To me, it's the carbon copy of what Bush did.
Yeah.
Oh, the only difference is a different.
It started with
country.
Reagan, really. I mean, it started with Reagan.
Reagan was the dismantler.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, but when I was a kid, I was shocked that Nixon got pardoned. But I was a kid. You're still studying history back then. Back then, socials. You studied history, geography. That's how far back I go. There was
See,
such
I
thing as
remember.
geography.
I remember people being shocked about that back in the day. But I don't know how we would do that. I mean, it's the same level of shock that we had that this dude pardoned all of those terrorists who attacked the Capitol. You got to keep in mind that Lincoln pardoned all the Confederates as well. The country has a long history of pardoning people who've engaged in that kind of behavior. That's how it's always been. It's nothing new.
And then, and then here's the thing. This guy admires the guy in Hungary. By the way, speaking of Hungary, I sent you guys something just now. There's a big protest over there because Viktor Orban wants to take away all kinds of.
That's mobilizing. Protests are mobilizing. I'm curious about the institutions. Are they organizing?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
hurry up, man. We got a break. We got a break coming up. So hurry up, man.
Do you think we're going to get anywhere with these like No King's Day and the one coming up in July 17th?
No, it's cooked. It's done. It's over.
Oh, I was hoping you would. Give me a sign of
not unless you're
going in the right direction.
As long as they got us caught up in mobilizing, we're not going to get anything done.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Michelle. Have a nice day.
You too. Yes. Thank you for calling.
You bet.
Thank you.
He wish he told you have a nice day, but not me. How about that? Man? How come I can't have a nice day? Listen, you know what's coming? Earl's next, right? Isn't Earl next?
No. We already talked to Earl.
We haven't talked to Earl?
No, then Earl hung up. No, Earl's there. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, see how she did you, Earl?
Yeah, sorry, Earl.
He gonna come here trashing me.
I thought I had a little system
man?
here. I'm sorry.
Jeez, man. See how she did you, Earl?
I'm sorry, Earl. Don't take it personally.
No, see, man. No. When we come back from the break, Earl's next, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
It's all over town. Your work is done. Time for some fun.
This is Bill Cooper from Inline Designs Office Solutions. We're at www.inlinedesignsofficesolutions.com and keep listening to the Family Meeting.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions, and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and plan. Empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Drum, please.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed. Just a bit of a break from the norm. Just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what about a groove to soothe, to move?
So,
Give me a soft, subtle
short week. We had a short week this week. Why?
Because the 4th of July.
Oh.
That's why you see how I worded it. That was intentional.
Yeah, I did. I forgot. I forgot it. We got golf outing August 1st. Y'all should sign up for it. Go to the website, tfmradioshow.com. Did it, right? Yeah, I did that. tfmradioshow.com.
Is that really? Is that what you're...
That's what you get today. That's right. That's what you get. So I'm going to post these questions on social media for you guys to argue about. We didn't really get to the questions, you see. I kind of knew that was going to happen. They're slightly provocative.
Yes, slightly.
There's a little statement in them. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I said so. I said as much.
Mm-hmm.
And someone tried to answer it, didn't even understand the question.
Mm-hmm.
Listening is key, isn't it?
Every day.
Okay, so watch this then. We're going to invite Earl in, and he's going to trash me, even though you forgot about it.
I know.
Watch this.
I'm sorry,
Watch
Earl.
this.
Earl, forgive me.
I tried to tell you were on there, Earl.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Yep. Well, that no good gentleman on the program with you there, Michelle. We'll I'll forgive you, Michelle. I know it's confusing having to sit next to him for almost 2 hours, and so I can understand your plight. I mean, I can forgive you.
Thank you so much.
Man, you're like a Trump voter for Michelle. Like a Michelle voter.
That is not a compliment to either one of us.
I'm just saying. You don't even say it right. She can say do anything and you still support her.
Yeah, I still support her. But no, the only reason why I wanted to chime in today, I think we have a problem with definitions. And you had a caller on earlier, I believe, who was a Trump supporter that kept calling everybody that comes to the border and is American. And the American judicial system, as far as being adjudicated as whether they can stay here or be kicked out, we keep calling those illegal. They are not illegal. They have not been prosecuted. Their cases have not been gone before the court, and a decision has been made by the judge. There's a difference between somebody sneaking across the border and not going to the judicial system, and someone who throws themselves at the mercy of the court and is willing to get a court date and come back when the court tells them to come back and go through the process of being a someone who has been persecuted in a country, and they feel that they can seek asylum here. And those cases can be adjudicated in the judicial system, as opposed to somebody who's sneaking across the border and just disappearing into the country without going through any judicial system. And that's deliberate, because the Republican Party has deliberately confused the issues, and they have deliberately made sure that the system is not large enough to handle the volume of people coming across trying to seek asylum here, and so they chose the term illegal to categorize both, and that's not really fair. That's not an adequate definition. So the gentleman that called in earlier, who's just throwing everybody into the illegal category, is falsely and deliberately categorizing someone who's in the system and going through the process, and who comes back to their court date and goes before the judge to be determined of whether they have a legitimate case to be here or not. And remember, Barack Obama, President Obama, extricated more people than any other president before him or since him. And Trump is trying to do 3,000, detained, expulsions to try to surpass Barack Obama. But Barack Obama and Trump were different from the standpoint that Barack Obama was trying to go through a legal system, and Trump is just trying to be, Mr. Nasty, you know what I mean? Playing the color game, playing to his base, trying to play to his Nazi sympathizers, white supremacists.
Let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask you a question. I have been really watching the news. Maybe this is for you too, Michelle. Have you seen them invading the Polish communities or any of these other people who are here illegally, as they say?
Just brown and black.
That hasn't made the news. No, that hasn't made the news. And
Because
you
they're
probably
not
want to
there.
see it. People. They want white people. Trump has said he wants white people to come. He also, remember what he did with the Afrikaans from South Africa. They were supposed to be butchered by the black folks over there, and there's nowhere in the world that the president of South Africa was going to let him get away with that statement. But, it's a falsehood. It's a lie. I mean, the man is a lie from the day he opens his eyes until the day he closes them.
That's right. True.
So does that mean that the rule is that you're only illegal if you're non-white? Is that the rule we have to work with?
Oh, no, you didn't listen to my definition. Nope, you didn't follow me. You are not illegal if you present yourself.
Hold on a second. I'm not parsing the illegals. I'm purposely using their term illegal. All right. So I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that the people that they're deciding to deport, the people that they want to deport, the people who are non-white are the only people that are being deported.
So far as we know, yes.
Okay.
And remember, I'm also trying to emphasize the fact that they are not going to deport white folks because Trump has been advocating for more and more white folks to come here. Mm-hmm. So it's not a matter of even-handedness. Trump is not being coy or slick or sly or anything like that. He's been right up front. I want more white people to come here, and I don't want brown and black people to come here. I want to get rid of the Haitians. I want to get rid of the dark Caribbean people. He's not being opaque. He's very clear on this.
Okay, so get off. All right, man, get off my phone now. Okay.
All right, Michelle, I still love and I forgive you, but that other dude,
Thank you, Earl. I love you too.
Y'all all kissy face and stuff, man. Y'all some old kissy face people. Everybody's all kissy face today, man. What's that about? So, I'm going to go ahead and post the questions because I thought that I put some thought to this today. And I don't do that. And I failed miserably.
No, you didn't fail miserably. The thing is, you said no nuance.
I got no answer.
That's where it becomes challenging.
It's not really challenging, though, because it's a straightforward question.
I think
try this one. Try this one.
The one about the children is the one that's straightforward.
It is. You would think, but we're killing children, though. So apparently, it is okay. Under what? And I don't understand the circumstances under which you'll be able to sleep knowing that. I don't understand how people can sleep knowing that. But the difference between, what do you have to do to become a terrorist, right? when you listen to the news, and I'm talking about the news that you can rely on, the true journalists' news, and to hear them use the term terrorist, they feed into the narrative by doing that.
I think it's interesting when they choose not to use it, because the couple that in Wisconsin that were just murdered, the state legislature, that was terrorism.
Yeah.
That guy was going from house to house. He was at his, and that is terrorism. But they're not calling him a terrorist. So that's what
it's the choices when people choose to use that term is interesting because it feeds the narrative. The word terrorist, the word illegals, it conjures up a certain emotion in people. Savage, when they talk about settling the West as they were, they referred to the Native Americans as savages.
Savages, yeah.
Which then justified
killing them.
Mass murder and genocide. The things we should never forget. Anybody who wants to say that was a long time ago, I wonder, okay, what's the time limit then? But when is it too long for it to be a thing now?
When you stop doing the thing.
Well, I mean, that may be the case, but I'm talking about just remembering and what happened. When are we supposed to not to forget?
I don't think you can forget.
But there are people who want you to forget certain things and not others. So I want to know the rules. When is the time frame for us forgetting? No takebacks. So if you have, in the case of South Africa, so if you stole land from the native South Africans and now they want it back, what's the statute of limitations? When do you not have to give it back anymore? Right? So then you can't run around claiming that you're being terrorized by people from whom you stole. False history. Now, so I would encourage you to ask your children, what are they taught about Christopher Columbus?
He was great.
Right.
He was a discoverer.
A genocidal murderer.
For
How
sure.
long does that go on? How long do you allow that to go on? And this whole settler thing. You notice the term they use when the Israelis kick people out and move into their land, and they're called settlers. But if I go do that, I'm considered a thief. What's the line? How do you cross that over? And how much is wealth? We're going to put it on social media so you can contemplate it, do whatever you want to with it.
Answer the questions, y'all.
Please answer the questions. Please answer the questions for me. Okay. There's a golf outing. Did I mention that too?
Yeah, you could
August
do a better
1st.
job.
Yeah, well, okay. August 1st. Y'all know what it is.
We're going to have the recipients, the children, the young people. I shouldn't call them children. The young people were going to be volunteering the day with us as well. We're very excited about that. So you get to meet some of the kids who are going to be the beneficiaries of the money, the scholarship money. Yeah, we're still looking for some whole sponsors, some foursomes.
Sign up today. Go to the website, tfmradioshow.com, and sign up. Give you a barrel of
For a
monkeys.
good cause, and you get a tax break.
That too.
Get that now because they might take that away next year.
All right, y'all. It's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours. Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
Laugh, joke, candlelight, talking about how you and your ex-man fight. Tropical sight, peace and white. Listen, seafood dishes, wine cooler, champagne wishes, waterbed head.
The preceding program, The Family Meeting, was sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency, and to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal.
You can be my big daddy. Every whole night. You can be my big daddy.
Mama, give me time, I spend quality time. Cute face, haircut, like the Halle design. Keep my dear laced up with fly getting makeup. But you should see her when she wake up. Never could we break up.